clarity. I have observed that I need to understand the business also whenever I am getting into any particular company. Then only I will be able to relate, and then I will be able to be a kind of spokesperson of the people. So that is what has been taught to me in my initial days, thanks to my mentor there. So who was I was being luckily in the right hands all through. So
Yeah. Mr. Sridhar, managing HRMS and payroll systems is no small feat, especially when it comes to ensuring accuracy and efficiency. From your experience, what would you say is the biggest challenge in handling these systems, and how have you been able to overcome it while also keeping everything running so smoothly? Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, presented by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. In today's episode, we are honored to welcome Mr. Sridhar Kumar Adapa, a distinguished HR strategist with a wealth of experience in talent management, organizational development, and strategic HR operations. Throughout his career, Mr. Sridhar has been at the forefront of shaping HR practices that foster high performing teams and cultivate a culture of engagement, compliance, and leadership. His expertise spans across policy formulation, employee engagement, and navigating the complexities of industrial relationships, making him a respected leader in the field. Mr. Sridhar, it is a privilege to have you with us today. We truly appreciate you taking out time to join us.
thanks, Anay. Appreciate it, and then pleasure is mine. And thanks for the wonderful introduction of myself. Covering all the aspects and facets of the professional journey so far. In my entire career of 28 years of association with wonderful organizations altogether.
Sir, we're excited to delve into your insights on evolving role of HR in today's dynamic business landscape. But to start off, we love to hear your journey. Like, where did it all start? I know it's been a remarkable path, but if you could just share a few insights on the story behind your success.
Sure. I think, that's a good start to look into. So the journey started way back in 1996. So I'm a generation guy who has seen, from paper to today, living on the kind of, handsets and, dealing your entire work and appreciating technology. So it has been a kind of very amazing journey. And we have been a generation which has gone through a lot of learning. And even today, we are in the process of learning. And then everybody believes in learning. Life is always a learning process. So I started my career with manufacturing in 1996. Pure payroll guy. And then 1998 is the time when technology, IT, and everything has started coming into India. And one of the global MNC has come into India, and they engaged with me, and then I walked through with them almost for 6 years. Initial phase of information technology companies in India put together, right? So I was one of the person who has gone through how the governments have set up STP, software technology parks, and SEZs. So all those aspects like imports and exports, how does it happen, and then development. So what happened initially, I was being made head of 4 support functions. HR being my core forte, administration, finance and accounts, and IT, information technology. It is called IS then, information services, right? Setting up the kind of hardware and software parts. From then I moved into the kind of one specific stint with a international social development organization called Care India, which has also given me the insights into what's the value of life and what exactly we all exist for. So that has been a very important phase of my life. Though it was for 2 years, it was told to me it is a kind of projectized approach. It was 2 years, so I took that opportunity as a challenge, and I wanted to see what exactly happens at grassroots levels, how these interventions help people in terms of bringing the change into the desired ones, whatever outcomes that you desire, right? So it has been very rewardful, that journey. And then I started my career with complete BFSI. That is when I got into BFSI. Your entire life has changed immediately because BFSI is such an amazing industry. I'm not demeaning any other industry per se, right? But BFSI is such an amazing industry. Why I say it is because it is purely, governed by the RBI rules and regulations, well set up, the maker, checker, so that uh, the moment you see how a process can determine your character and your approach to deal with the situations. And then where exactly are the checkpoints? When I say maker checker, right? So where are the checkpoints that are inbuilt from almost decades, which will give you a feel that you are in the right hand, and then even if you want to omit or commit, these kind of things are not possible, but it will, if you try to do it smartly also, they will surface. What happens is that's where the discipline and the entire focus on to complying with things, at the same time managing the business with its business outcomes, will also come in. That is the balanced approach that comes from BFSI, which I felt amazing. And then I'm a fast learner. I did that within first 2 years, and then started growing in the ladder. Worked with very good brands like ING Vysya Bank, which is Kotak now, and then Indus subsidiary, and then last but not the least RBL Bank's subsidiary. So that's where my journey goes on, and then throughout this period, last 10 years have been extensively involved in attending board meetings, sitting other side of the table. So that's when I started looking at how to prepare for boards, and then what exactly these board members come with, where exactly such kind of amazing knowledge or insights come into, because they don't appear to be engaged with the organization for almost 365 days the way management is engaged, right? Though they spend good amount of time, but the important time that they spend is one day in a quarter. That is when they ask all the questions. They do a lot of work, but when you get to see one CXO, they spend at least 2 or 3 days in that quarter. That's it. But when they come for the meeting, it is all like you have to be on your toes, like you have to be prepared for everything. So I always had this, how come these people have got these skills on their up the sleeves, and what exactly they do, from where this knowledge comes in, where this skill has got acquired. That's when I felt that, yeah, the board journey is something that I should embark on. So from other side of the table to translate into this one. So this is the journey that I have embarked on about a year back. So this is where I stopped for you. This thing. Being a champion, I would like to add some of the kind of things. Many organizations have been instrumental in setting up these, because being HR is the custodian of building that code of conduct, values, and culture of the organization, which leads to the employee experience and employer brand. So we did at least I have invested a lot of time in that, and I'm a champion of that. I can talk about it for hours together, but I don't know whether it fit into the current conversation or not, right? Yeah, over to you.
Yeah. Sir, in your journey, you had the unique responsibility of not just managing HR operations but also empowering entire organizations through policy formation, employee engagement, and talent acquisition. So, looking back, what were the some of the toughest challenges you faced in aligning HR practices with business goals, and how did you overcome them?
Perfect question and very apt one for me. So, as you all we all know, HR is a bridge between employee and management. So, two unique sets of minds, though there are different stakeholders. Let's deal with these two first. Yeah, the shareholders or the promoters or the management, different kind of styles of organizations, and employees at the place. So HR comes in between and then tries to deal with managing or bringing the kind of soft side of the journey, so that both the hands, management or promoter or the stakeholders, and then employees, both of them carry on the journey smoothly and then they contribute to the part. So this has been irrespective. Let's talk about any jargon, but prima facie, this is one of the area which every HR and the management people also try to put in, because every individual is a HR manager. You have to deal with people. So coming back to the question, in my entire journey, what has been the toughest thing? Alignment of each individual of employee, because I have dealt with maximum 40,000 of employees and minimum 600. So this is my entire span of 28 years. I have dealt with such kind of workforce. And this workforce is if you draw a pyramid, there will be 5 layers. Board, top management, then general managerial, and middle managerial, and then the field level. The fulcrum is at the field. They are the people who come into field in the sense at the start level, entry level people. Entry level people come in with a kind of expectation and then a blank canvas in their mind, or with little bit of knowledge here and there, which is more dangerous than not having any knowledge. So this is the segment of the people that you need to be very careful. And then the toughest challenge lies in bringing them on the journey to align with the culture of the organization and then values of the organization, as well as balancing the act of contributing to the top line and bottom line. Middle line is not taken care of there. Nobody is interested. When I say top line, revenue, bottom line is profit, middle line is expenditure. Expenditure is not looked at anybody, but as far as you're looked at top line and bottom line, that is where the kind of things come in. Middle line is left with few people who are pushed to see to that kind of cost economies coming in. Right? That's their responsible. Operational efficiency and everything comes in. So here, HR, as a HR head, my role was to look at whether the code of conduct defined and then the values defined, the organization's expectations in line with the kind of business goals, which is called productivity matrix for each and every individual. Is it defined transparently with benchmarking of the practices? And then aspiration of where we want to see ourselves as an organization. Every organization comes up with a vision and mission statement, and it defines that from the today till the bottom line, down the line about 5-10 years, where we want to see ourselves, which segment we want to see, whether we want to be top 10 amongst top 10 or top 100, top 50 or top 3 or top, whatever is defined. So how it gets, whether it is defined properly or it is going to cause a disruption, because see, I have also helped some of the startups. Startups are very aspirational and ambitious. But at the same time, there is a realism concept that goes on in everybody's mind. When you know the realism, there you try to put some kind of sounding impossible tasks. It's not impossible, sounding impossible. So the difference between impossible and sounding impossible for me is impossible will never happen. Sounding impossible is, it sounds impossible, but with some of the unique innovativeness and unique practices, you will make it possible. And it is possible, right? Asking people to stretch a bit. And then when you stretch, as Didi said that, when you push people to the wall, they will try to find out an innovative way to come out and then excel. That has to be in a healthier way. So this is what is my toughest challenge throughout. For that, as a HR, which is a weakness in me, I don't call it interfraternity. I have observed that I need to understand the business also whenever I am getting into any particular company. Then only I will be able to relate, and then I will be able to be a kind of spokesperson of the people. So that is what has been taught to me in my initial days itself, thanks to my mentor there. So who was I was been luckily in the right hands all through. So I can't count myself a very lucky person. So that is where I got to know that as a HR person, if you don't understand business, then your relevance is not there. So then I started, whenever I joined any company or any of the kind of different industry, I did a good amount of job within first month itself to understand in depth what exactly is a business, what are the benchmarks, where are we, whom are we competing with, and what they are doing great, what we are doing great, what they are not doing good, what we are not doing good. So what we are not doing good, if somewhere is there. So those things help you in terms of communicating to your people. It's not an easy journey, but it's a rewardful journey, and people
Yeah.
start respecting you. Touch wood. Uh, Even today, all the enterprises wherever I've been associated with, my name is taken with a little bit of respect, which is a kind of lifetime achievement for me. So that has been the status. Whereas I have put in myself into and then understood the business, people alignment has been done, and then when it is required, I have taken the side of the people to the management. When it is required, I have taken management to the people side. It is not that I have taken one side or the other side, but I have taken the right side to make other part understand what exactly is the viewpoint of. That is where the alignment comes in, and then collaboration, teamwork comes out, and then people do amazing works. Scaling heights is my acronym, so which has become over a period of
Lovely.
scaling new heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely, sir.
So
Yeah, very well said, sir. That, like you said, the mentors taught you the importance of business goals, and I hope your whatever you're sharing today can really help our viewers because it's some great insights into the world of HR.
would be grateful in case if somebody gets benefited out of it.
100%.
Actually, the way I feel is that my mentors told me that I was also going through Sadhguru's one of the conversation where somebody has asked him from Stanford or Harvard, if I'm not wrong. He spent about 1.5 hours there. Somebody said, Sadhguru, why are you so clear with your thoughts? He says that the way Hinduism taught us. I'm not taking any religion. What I'm saying, his response is this: for us, it is only five elements in life. Everything comes from that five. And what happened in the name of modernization, that five has been, stretched to some 5 million, say 5 billions. And then each person dealing with that 5 billion. When it is scaled up to that level, bisecting it to the 5 billion level is okay. But not at the cost of forgetting the five and dealing with 5 billionth activity and
Yeah,
thinking that that's the universe. So that's where I get into. So my mentors told me that life is simple unless you make it complicated. So it is
and we're
all
all,
we bring the complexity into the world and then we try to fix it, and all of us are having restless life.
yeah, yeah, very true,
Happiness,
sir.
happiness comes in simplicity.
Sir, balancing compliance with employee relations is no easy feat, especially when tensions can sometimes rise between the two. From your experience in industrial relations and compliance management, how have you managed to uphold the strict standards necessary while still ensuring that employees feel valued, respected, and engaged?
Excellent. First of all, compliance and strict standards adhering to is very tough, is a myth actually. Okay, why I say that is I have also entered into this with such kind of mindset because I felt that who is someone to decide and why we need to comply with it? What exactly is the rationale behind this? Who are you to tell me? I am a subject matter champion. So when you really get into it and then you understand it, I will take my example of one of the organization where the unions and associations were prevalent. Okay, I don't mind. It's not a confidential thing. ING Vysya Bank is a bank which had both IBA and CTC category employees. That is, I'm talking about employee relations there. IR and ER. Compliance will come to the part later. That's my first leg into the BFSI segment. And what attracted me into the BFSI segment is that only, basically, where in those days, like 2006, dealing with employee unions, associations is hardly heard of. 1996, yes. Yeah, it was available. You could have explored that. But over a decade, it got completely, it has lost its relevance because of various economic developments, and then MNC culture coming into aspects and new industries building up. So I also went into the kind of field that maybe this is very tough and people behave, they don't behave, the normal way. They always do the strikes and the. But when I really got into it and then interacted for first 3 months, and then gone through the bipartite and tripartite agreements that have been signed, I really felt that this is something that we do with the help of policies and rest of the things. Here, the only point is that policy sent on a frame by someone and try to sell it to corporate style. Whereas in the ER and IR, it is built with a consensus between all the parties related to, involved into. Then what happens is when you sign those things, and it is a very tight drawn compartment, you have to conduct your business within those four walls. That is the area which I felt that okay, one is that it is giving the clarity, but it is also limiting you to the boundaries. Where I added significant value, talking to the union presidents and general secretaries and all, regularly we have to interact with them as part of that. So when we brought those concepts into and explained them, yeah, today our horizon is defined into these four walls. Can we see a little bit beyond? Otherwise, we will be left behind in the market. Then immediately what happens is the perspective changes. Their thought also comes in that mother organization. If we can't keep the mother organization healthy and then competitive in the market, they themselves come. And I'm telling you honestly, that is much easier than managing an IT employee who does not have any kind of this thing. But they come with, because see, when there is a boundaries defined, what the other side is going to come up with. When that boundary is not there, the entire universe can be a problem state, which has been experienced by me many times in IT field, that all of a sudden you interact with every day 2 or 3 employees. Don't ask me. You might have just traveled the path of complete globe. Everything but on the earth becomes a problem over there. You never know which one becomes a problem. Then you have to have the knowledge and then explain that. Here it is defined, right? So coming to ERIR is that the compliances part, those things also have been defined as and when there was a requirement, and then keep on getting changes incorporated with the help of Minister of HRD, everybody seeking inputs like people like us who have gone into some areas. But first of all, the foundation, if it is understood, any compliance, statutory, we will be able to appreciate that it is not going to come on the way of business. And business also gets benefited out of these. Yeah. So it has not been a kind of such a tough task, because many of us feel that compliances, employee relations become very tough in life, but it has been very pleasant, and for me, on contrary, it has been a very pleasant and then comfortable journey for me, because again same rule applied here. The
Yeah.
simple principle, be humble, put the feet onto the kind of ground, and then try to understand things from the other's perspective. Another big principle I learned for dealing with people is that don't listen to people just for the sake of giving the kind of lending a ear, right? Put yourself into the shoes of that person. Then you will be able to understand what exactly is the problem that the person is going through, and then you will be able to appreciate it, and you will be able to give a good suggestion or a solution.
I think today we're learning a lot about, rightly so, about basics being in place, sir,
Yeah, yeah.
which is so very important.
We did a program of back to basics many times. I
Okay.
have a habit of bringing under the banner of back to basics.
Lovely.
With your organization I go to,
Yeah.
since you took the right words, I remember every once in 2 years, we come back to the kind of status that back to basics.
Mr. Sridhar, managing HRMS and payroll systems is no small feat, especially when it comes to ensuring accuracy and efficiency. From your experience, what would you say is the biggest challenge in handling these systems, and how have you been able to overcome it while also keeping everything running so smoothly?
Great. So I agree it's not a easy task, but it is very simple task. You might be feeling that everything I am bringing as a simplicity because that's what my effort so far. How to make the complicated ones very simple, right? But as you rightly said, I have handled a company called having 40,000 human capital count head count, and that time the technology has not come to the level wherein Oracle HCM or Darwin boxes of the world or Adrenaline or Workday or any of the HRIS tech product which is SaaS or yourself owned has not been existing at all during that time. And then again, going back to, as I said, 1996, I started my journey with a manufacturing company, which is about 200 crore conglomerate at that point in time, Sanghi Group of Industries. It has a big workforce. And then everything was manual, attendance registers to payroll processing, and then accuracy, paying it without having any kind of, even 1 rupee less is a big mistake, right? So that's where I got interacting with, I have interacted with people who took the pride in saying that you find 5 paisa or 1 paisa mistake in my work, I will resign and go. That is the pride payroll people used to take at that point in time. And that too with manual level and then doing it every month sharp. The committed date of pay is first. First, the payment is credited. 25th, payment is credited. For that, what all the kind of midnight oils have to burn, these people do it. So I learned from there, and then a journey has gone through from, from manual to then DOS-based applications, Lotus 123, Quattro Pro, and then Excel. Microsoft has brought in Excel, and then Excel to the databases, and then put everything into HRIS, and then every data lake is built, and then you have brought all the kind of informations over there, and then click of the button, it gets run. Attendance is automated, right? Otherwise, every day you look into the kind of attendance register and see how many leave applications have come in. Everything got automated. So this is a journey, but the more we automated, mistakes also still exist in terms of the way what I have handled in my this career is that we have kept a kind of open forum where employees can log in their service tickets. Any particular aspect, most of the organizations follow that these days. So if you have any issue or query, you put that for resolution or clarification. So there are tags into that. And then whenever that is what is based for my review, whether we are doing a healthy work or we are doing a good work or lousy work or whatever work we say. So many of the times whenever I started the journey with any new company, the moment payroll is processed and paid, next day is the day at which a 10% of employees putting in their queries. That every organization within 6 months, I brought it to 1% or 0. How it happens, that is not a challenge, but point is, see what happens. You define policies of pay, compensation benefits. That is defined by A. Sridhar. But A. Sridhar does not explain it to employee and the person who is processing it. Well, there bounds the subjectivity comes in. And subjectivity should not be in some of the objective aspects of life, that is pay, right? Which is pure number, right? So this is where my time goes in understanding what is the compensation benefit policy, whether it is communicated well or not. If not, then what need to be done? And then that can be done multiple ways. One is conducting kind of employee training, or as well as whenever the query is raised, you resolve that query and then make it a kind of presentation and present it to people in some of the places that these are the kind of pain points and this is how we have open communication and transparency, because these are the areas that requires. But you don't need to figure out there the kind of so and so person's salary was this much. That is not the transparency. What
Yeah.
transparency is that this is your pain point, this is how it has to be seen, and this is
Correct.
where we had to correct ourselves. We corrected, or this is where you have to make your understanding better. We put in our effort there to make you understand.
True.
This is on the HRS and technology. We have gone through, again, my generation is a generation which has gone through lots of transformation.
Everything.
Yeah. We
We've seen
haven't
it
been
all.
able to see anything in, a system, or today we can't live without it.
Yeah, yeah. Very true. So, with such a successful and impact career in HR and leadership, I'm sure you've given a thought to your future. So, looking ahead, what are your aspirations for the next phase of your career? Like, how do you envision your journey in the boardroom, and what impact do you hope to make in that space?
Great. Uh, as I said, last 14 to 16 years, I have been attending the board meetings, sitting other side of the table as a management representative and doing the management updates. And being HR guy, I always manage the NRC, Nomination and Remuneration Committee, with close, uh, you know, interaction with all the board members, including chairman, because board evaluation also is part of the NRC. What has happened is last 14 to 16 years, whenever I have attended the board meeting, sitting other side of the table, and being HR professional, I have attained a highest level of CHRO. And then the kind of knowledge that has come into me, I felt that it would be helpful in terms of in case if I leverage it to make beneficial of both self and the organizations. Then I come across the words called good governance and then comply or explain. Then I have come across World Directors Council and then Institute of the Directors Institute. I have interacted with Mr. Heval and then Jishan Patel. So these gentlemen were really helpful in terms of making my thought process clear, saying that 28 years of experience, wow, but you need to take this path to make it 100%. So that's where my journey has begun, and it was bugging me for a long time, but I was not clear. When I interacted with these two gentlemen, they have been very helpful, and then I appreciate the time they have spent with me, understanding, making me understand what exactly it takes to be a board member. So then I decided to come into the kind of thing, and then I don't wanted to. I'm a old generation guy who does not believe in doing serious things together. What it takes to be a director requires a lot of investment of time in terms of understanding. Otherwise, see, you can also clear those exams. My feel is that, with your experience, you can clear. But fundamentals, if they have not been understood well, and you don't invest proper time over there, coupled with some mentorship who are already into the kind of, the roles, and sitting alongside, not the other side of the table.
Yeah.
These are the important aspects which will not allow you if you are in the full-time job.
Yeah.
So I took a courageous decision, and then it's okay. Market has treated me well, and I've been blessed to you know at least meet my basics. Everything is in place. So I thought that I have to come into this path, and then this journey has to be embarked into. So each and every material what that has been provided to me, I have read, and then I have also related to. So from both sides of the table.
Yeah.
Then I last 1 year, it has been a wonderful, rewarding journey. And then thanks to both these gentlemen who have been instrumental in terms of making my journey comfortable. I have learned a lot in this journey. So from India to kind of international level, all the 192 countries, what exactly it takes to be a kind of be part of the board,
Yeah. Yeah.
what
And
governance, how it is evolving around. All those aspects have been.
That's a very big step, sir, that you took there to take some time out to go, like you always say, go back to basics, understand, get that mentorship to take it to the next level.
No, it is required, when you have to, step up the ladder every time, and the pyramid is always like this, you know, it becomes very thin and
Correct.
very, 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 very small,
Yeah.
and then you have to fit in there.
Yeah.
The only way is to invest in yourself and then keep yourself qualified enough and then give the people confidence that no, you are the one who will be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Sridhar, corporate governance plays such a pivotal role in shaping an organization's success. With your extensive experience, how do you see the evolution of corporate governance in today's dynamic business environment? And what do you think are the most crucial factors for ensuring effective governance at boardroom level?
Very tricky question, but point is, see, at this point in time, I would be able to give you a very myopic version of my view because my journey is not yet into that level, but I can contribute and complement this question from the perspective of what I have seen so far, including my learning. Corporate governance is a simple word, but every subject, as other subjects, everything will evolve. So, first time when I got into implementation of ISO, it was told to me that document what you do what you have documented. Say, so you today what you are doing, you document, and you keep doing it, and then try to observe and identify the gaps or areas of improvement, and then bring in those as a part of documentation again. That is improvements, process improvements. This is how the capabilities and process mature. So it's a journey. It's a never-ending journey. Unless until corporate governance has seen the scandals of Enron or Satyam, right? Or for that matter, in SEBI level, some Harshad Mehta, we heard a couple of things. So I'm not taking those all names. What I'm trying to say is, whenever something big happens, then we will also realize that what exactly are the improvements have to be brought in. That is at a very drastic level. But at a normal level, also we keep looking at, yes, governance. What exactly is the objective of corporate governance? A particular entity created, which has also a kind of lawful, individualism. You call any company also is a person which is created under company law. So it has its own character, identity. And that person, how does that person behaves in terms of the objective set for any company? What is the objective of any company? Economic development, and then fair level of distribution, and applying fairness to distribute that services, and then bring in the kind of every stakeholder. The stakeholders are shareholders, customers, employees, society. Society, when I say, I cover planet actually, right? All these four aspects are balanced out, and then investors are already covered, shareholders. So their aspects are also been taken. So corporate governance dissects into all these aspects. But initially, it might not have gone to that level. Everything has to be evolving, right? So what I see today is corporate governance has got a lot of prominence, and then so many developments around, and then such a kind of vast growth of uh, economic forums, right? Economic places. So it requires a framework or model that need to be looked into from the perspective of safeguarding the interest of all the stakeholders, balancing. So I see corporate governance's uh, role, very significant role, and then it's a mandatory, it's a compulsory role. You can't avoid it. It has to be there. And then the words that have been learned by me during this journey, comply or explain. So either you do it or You explain why you are not
Yeah.
able to do it. Then somebody else will come with a kind of help, offering you that how you can comply with. If at all really there is a genuine issue.
So
Right?
I hope the audience today has been noting down some of the phrases you've been using because they are bang on.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. We have also got it from people like Geosansar and then Mr. Havel and then some of the mentors who have
Yeah.
been through in, there in my life. It's
Yeah.
all learned. The nothing has been created so far on my own.
Yeah.
It's just a kind of we call it proliferation, best practices.
Sir, you had the opportunity to be a part of Directors Institute. Could you please share with us your experience in joining the program and how has it impacted your perspective on leadership and governance?
I think I have already answered partially that in my
Yeah.
previous thing, but yeah, when I was not clear how to embark onto this journey of my aspiration of taking a role into the board and entering into my boardroom journey, I come across some of the videos of Mr. Jishan and Mr. Havel on LinkedIn. Then I connected up to them, and then many other people have also come in. There were at least 10, I can say minimum, 10 of them have interacted with me from the perspective of giving me the clarity of what is this journey altogether, how do I, as a kind of individual with this experience, how can I get into? So the handhold and the guidance and the information sharing and then clarifying my doubts and all has been no match. I must appreciate the kind of no, they are doing it as a kind of again voluntary pro bono activity. I feel nothing comes to them from there, right? But still, their zeal, their enthusiasm in terms of making people really understand, and then also showing them the larger picture of what sort of opportunities where one can go into and helping the entire community getting certified, also connect up to the kind of forums and then make sure that they at least get into kind of one or the other roles is I can say that today in India, at least in India, nobody else. There are many other forums, but effectiveness and efficiency of this institute, Directors Institute and WC is appreciated and then no match for that.
Lovely, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words and for sharing your valuable insights and experiences with us. It's been truly inspiring to hear your journey, your perspective on leadership and governance, and the actual impact you're making in your field. And like I said, I'm sure the audience has gained a lot from today's episode.
Pleasure is mine, Tanay. I think, the thanks goes to, these two gentlemen and you all who have been instrumental in this journey. And my heartfelt thanks to you and then Ghanshyam and Mr. Jishan and then Mr. Heval, Heval and all these people have been instrumental. Somewhere or the other, these names will go into my biography if at all it is written, right? So if at all it is written, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Why
these
not,
names
sir? Why
definitely
not?
will be there in print. Otherwise, it is there in my mind. Yeah.
Perfect, sir.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Thanks to you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
To our audience, we hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with anyone who could benefit from Mr. Sridhar's expertise. We'll be back soon with another exciting conversation with a business leader who is shaping the future. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, keep leading, and of course, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.